Kardec Radio presents a Spiritist novel adapted from the book Renunciation by the Spirit Emmanuel, psychographed by Chico Xavier. Part 1. Far from the warmth of life stretches a land of shadows. The ground is dry and thorny like a desert of sorrow. A cold wind howls, carrying the laments of guilty souls. Here cloaked spirits gather, weary yet hopeful.
Brothers, let us forget the vanities that enslaved us. Providence grants us a return to earth, to learn anew and redeem our faults.
But how shall we succeed if we forget the past? Without memory, won't we fall again?
Menandro, forgetfulness is divine mercy. Without it, how could a mother love her child if she recalled him as her enemy of old? The earth is our school, our chance to rebuild.
They felt silent. Suddenly a gentle light pierces the gloom, descending like a star from the heavens. From the glow emerges a woman, radiant, serene, but to the weary souls gathered there, it remains unseen. Yet something shifts. Feelings of hope settles over them. No one can explain it, but joy wells up in their hearts. The gathering slowly dissolves in reverent farewells and sacred promises. But Pollux remains pensive.
I've walked centuries under the light of the gospel, seeking to serve Christ in spirit and truth, but I failed every time, surrendering to lesser passions. And you, Alcyone, always faithful, always light, while I wavered and fell. In many lives I wore the robes of a priest, seeking purification through solitude. Yet even then, I betrayed my vows. Passion, pride, and weakness returned, and I left the world in disgrace, a rebellious criminal.
His heart trembles under the weight of memory, and then he prays. And in that sacred moment, the veil begins to lift.
Alcyone, is that really you, my beloved soul? How long I've suffered without you.
Rise, Pollux. You are not alone. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. The Lord never abandons those who strive. Soon you shall live again, a new chance to serve and redeem.
If only you could be with me on earth, I would fear nothing.
Perhaps the Master will allow it. If it is His will, I too shall descend. Not for joy, but for sacrifice. For renunciation.
Together they pray. Alcyone kisses his forehead tenderly as his spirit slowly yields to the sleep of rebirth. Alcyone ascends into a crystalline temple where luminous spirits serve Christ. She kneels before Anthenius, her mentor.
Anthenius, I beg the Lord's permission to return to earth. I long to aid those I love, to share their struggles.
Child, even the purest suffer on earth. Forgetfulness will dim your memories. Trials will weigh upon you. Are you ready to renounce the heavens for the cross?
Yes, where love calls, I must follow. I renounce the light, that I may kindle it among the shadows.
Anthenius gazes at her with admiration and grants his blessing. Alcyone prepares to reincarnate on earth. The scene shifts. It is June 7th, 1662. Paris bursts with celebration. King Louis XIV honors his beloved Louise de la Vallière. Trumpets resound, fireworks light the sky, and the streets overflow with laughter. A simple carriage makes its way. At the reins is Cyril Davenport, a noble young man. Beside him sits his cousin, Susanna Duchesne, lively, eager to gossip.
Cyril, did you see the dresses at Madame de Choisy's? So extravagant. And the king with his new favorite? Paris thrives on such scandals.
I did not notice much, Susanna. Such matters hold little weight for me.
Always so serious. But everyone knows. Poor Queen Maria Theresa is but a shadow in her husband's court.
Susanna talks on, but Cyril listens half-heartedly. His thoughts wander elsewhere to deeper longings. As dusk falls, Cyril halts the carriage near the Seine. Together they walk to a stone bench beside a fountain.
Susanna, my heart is restless. I long for more than courtly gossip. I dream of love, of a home, of children. Isn't that the noblest ideal of life?
Susanna's heart leaps, until Cyril speaks again.
Tell me, do you think Magdalena Villamil could share such a dream?
Susanna turns pale. His love belongs not to her but to Magdalena, her friend, her rival. Behind forced smiles, jealousy begins to fester. Soon after, Cyril visits the modest home of Don Villamil, a Spanish noble fallen into poverty. There he finds Magdalena, gentle, graceful, radiant in simplicity.
Mademoiselle Villamil, when you played in Paris, your melody touched me deeply. Music in your hands becomes prayer.
You are kind, monsieur. It was but a humble tune from my homeland.
Their eyes meet. A bond is sealed, quiet yet unbreakable. Don Villamil steps in.
Young Davenport, though fortune has turned against us, our honor remains intact. If your intentions are sincere, you are welcome here.
Cyril's admiration deepened into love, and Magdalena's heart answered his. Susanna burned with envy, while Antero de Oviedo, Magdalena's cousin, saw his hopes begin to collapse. For Antero had long been promised Magdalena's hand. Her father, burdened by debt, had pledged her to him as repayment. To Antero, her hand was his by right. Yet now he watched, powerless, as her affection turned to another. Outwardly, he hid his anger. Inwardly, a corrosive hatred grew, one that would one day demand its price.
So this is honor? My uncle's debts secured with lies? She was promised to me, and now smiles upon Davenport. No, I will not forgive.
The day of the wedding came. In a modest Parisian church, the altar was adorned for the city's patroness. Among the guests were Magdalena's family, her uncle from Blois, and Antero de Oviedo, consumed by silent rage. Cyril and Magdalena's eyes were filled with joy. For them, paradise seemed to open, and they believed they had found eternal happiness. But from the shadows, Antero's gaze remained fixed, cold, silent, and full of bitterness. Thus ends the first act of this story. In the heavens, renunciation is prepared. On earth, love unites Cyril and Magdalena, while jealousy and hatred take root in Susanna and Antero. The tapestry of destiny begins to weave, of sacrifice, of passion, and of eternal lessons for the soul.